Hello and welcome to Shifting Tones, the podcast with nerdy tones and shifting formats. And today I am your host, Steph, and joined with me is our other lovely co-hosts, Larissa.
Hiya.
And Sam.
Hoya.
And this is actually our last episode of the year.
Whoa!
Fooled you.
Wow.
We'll still be going strong in 2024, but it is the last episode of 2023. What are your thoughts on that?
I was beyond fooled. I was bamboozled.
Absolutely.
How does it feel? We've done a little bit. I mean, obviously we haven't had the podcast the whole year, but we've been. When did we start?
About 6 months ago now. We started in the summer, so...
Did we start in the summer? No,
Really?
I thought we started in, October.
No.
Was it September?
Okay, well, let's think about this. This is episode 18 or so, and we have... we've been doing it I think we've skipped 2 weeks, so 18 weeks ago. I don't know.
We started on September 7th, or that is our official launch date. So we probably started a little bit before then recording episodes, which is why I thought this summer.
Oh, yeah, maybe August. Yeah, that's fair. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's exciting.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. A lot has changed. Some of us have been married. Some of us have new jobs now. The world's totally different than what it was about 6 months ago.
But other than that, how are you guys today?
I'm doing pretty good. I just been at home, working from home, and it's the holiday season, so, things are slow, but it's nice to kind of just spend some time with the pets. I'm very excited that a close friend of mine just had their babies, their twins, so I am very happy to be pseudo-uncle again, just because of how close we are with them. Other than that, I've just been enjoying the end of 2023. I'm excited to celebrate with both of you this weekend and the rest of our friends.
The big meetup.
The big Shifting Tones meetup. Are you excited for beer pong tournaments and Super Smash Bros. Tournaments?
Oh, yeah.
I was telling Larissa, sorry, I know I'm rambling, but I was telling Larissa it would have been really fun had I thought in advance and enough to, tell you guys, and it wouldn't have, been such a drag, but to do a whole holiday thing. So everybody wears Halloween costumes. We have a turkey for dinner. The Christmas lights and Christmas decorations are still up, and then we celebrate at New Year's. But making everybody dress up, that's just a lot. And
that sounds like a lot. And
turkey's only good once a year anyways. So instead I might hang up a pumpkin or something in the house.
Oh my goodness. For our listeners that don't know, we usually try to celebrate kind of a lot of holidays together as a friend group, but it just didn't work out this year, so that's kind of why you saying, we should have mixed them all together.
Somebody had to go and get married.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a weird laugh. I don't know why I did that.
Horrible.
All right, Larissa, take it away.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So, it's been pretty chill lately in my... new job, my new role. I have officially launched my little office gallery today on one of the bulletin boards. So,
ooh,
yeah. So not only am I an artist, I also like to support my other fellow local artists. So on the little cork board in the office, there's a couple prints from local artists, and I jazzed up the board, and it looks really nice and cute. So I'm excited about that. Yeah,
that is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Steph, I forgot to completely ask.
What?
Unless it was in your gonna be in your little rant. Is how was your Christmas?
Oh, it was nice. Yeah, it was a lot of traveling. I mean,
sure.
Pretty much drove, 4 hours between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, so it was a lot, but it was nice because being able to see my family and then my husband's family, we always try to do it every year, but it is very taxing, a 4-hour drive is not the best.
No.
I did see in a photo, and I was going to ask him, but I guess I'll just ask you, it looks like he got a Nashville Predators hoodie?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Who'd he get that from?
He bought it himself.
Oh,
there was a sale.
Lame.
Well,
yeah, no.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah. He just really likes hockey and was like, you know what? I'm going to just buy this stuff myself.
That's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, if anyone has anything else, may these be your last final moments.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't.
Larissa?
Well, we asked Steph about her Christmas. I think the listeners should enjoy listening about our Christmas.
There we go.
Well.
Okay.
Wow,
go for it.
Yeah. So we had almost the opposite of what Steph had this year, because usually we are also traveling all over the place. But this year, we only drove about 5 minutes total. So that was so nice. It was a nice change of pace where this time my parents came out to me, and then Sam's family is close by. So, oh my goodness, that was so nice, and it was so enjoyable. And we saw all the family, we saw all the cute babies, and it was a good time.
I did get a couple things I wanted off my list, which I was really happy. I got some liquid core dice. So that
Very
was cool.
nerdy.
I'm a little upset I didn't get $100,000 Chipotle gift card like I asked for. But it's whatever. It's fine.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Santa forgot to stop at your house.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right. If we've got nothing else, then we are going to move right along.
Let's move.
So, as I previously mentioned, it is our last episode of the year, of our year 2023. So, kind of like how a lot of social media apps and different things like that kind of do like a rewind, just kind of going over your year and recapping and all that jazz. We're going to do that here on Shifting Tones as well. So, I came up with a couple things that we're all going to talk about, and we're going to recap to see kind of what was our favorites from the year. Does that sound good with you guys?
Do you think this is our yearly shift?
Whoa, I suppose
I just
we
came
could
up with
say
that.
that.
Just came up with that.
We could call it that, the yearly shift. So let's start out. We're going to talk about a couple of our favorite things from the year, or just things that we got up to, and kind of just have a small little discussion about it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, what was your guys' favorite movie that you watched from this year? It doesn't have to be a movie that came out this year. What was just something that a movie or a film that you just really enjoyed this year?
Larissa,
whoever
you go
can
first.
start.
Take it away.
No, you go first, Larissa. You got this.
Oh, okay. All right. So I know this, we just talked about this, but as I have previously mentioned more than a dozen times now in this podcast, huge Studio Ghibli fan. So when I found out earlier this year that there was a film in the works, I was beyond shocked because the director was supposed to be retired. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm pumped. I can't wait for this movie. So this year, naturally, my favorite movie of the year is The Boy and the Heron by Studio Ghibli.
And that just came out recently, so that's
did.
a nice way to wind down the year.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's impeccable. And the more I think about it, the more I want to watch it again. So I'm excited to see whenever it comes out. Who knows if it'll be on streaming services? Because I know, especially for North American audiences, the licensing for Ghibli films are interesting. Because even now we don't have access to all of the films. There are a few that are not on HBO Max right now where I'm like, I really want to see this movie. And I don't necessarily want to pirate it right now because I would like to support the studio by giving them my views. So I don't know. I'm excited to watch it again and analyze all of the weird surrealistic interludes and all that kind of fun stuff. And I don't want to give too many spoilers away because it did just come out. So
no spoilers.
If you guys have any questions about why it's my favorite, shoot.
Nope, don't care. I'm kidding. I loved it. It was a great movie. I think I know why it's your favorite. Just because, one, it's Studio Ghibli, and two, the animation, with you being an artist, was pretty flawless. It was just very fun to watch. It was a comforting movie, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it almost you were ready when you were watching it. You felt nostalgic as if you almost watched it again, but at the same time, it was a full brand new experience. It was a weird in between land of I know what Ghibli films are like, so you had that familiar comfort, but he did bring you on a whole new journey. So it was a brand new journey. So it was, I don't know, it was a very interesting, eclectic mix of things, and it's hard to describe and put into words exactly how that movie made me feel, but
would you say it's your favorite Ghibli movie of all time, or is there still other ones that you would like more than that one?
I don't know. I almost feel like I need to rewatch it because whenever I think back about it again, I'm like, oh man, that was so cool. And so I almost got this like sort of rose tinted feeling about it because I did rewatch a few Studio Ghibli films since we've seen that. And we watched a film that we had not previously seen called Pom Poko. And I'm like, all right, Pom Poko is funny and cute, but it is no Boy and the Heron. So I'm like,
I don't know
okay.
about that. Pom Poko was amazing. I love Pom Poko. It's real quick stuff. It's about raccoons that they're like their like forest is getting destroyed because of like modernization in Japan. It takes place in like the
Tokyo.
60s or 70s. Yeah, in Tokyo when it was growing. And but as far as like Japanese lore goes, raccoons have the ability to transform similar to like foxes. And so they turn into like humans, or they turn into like goofy looking raccoons that are like bipedal, and they're trying to like scare the people away. It's hilarious. I loved that movie.
Yeah, and it's really great because it's filmed almost like a mock documentary film where there's someone like narrating the entire thing. So it's just an interesting mix of things, but it's not like a full story. It almost feels like, I don't know. It's definitely a critique, and it's great, of like obviously capitalism and mowing down forests and things. And it's really sad because at the end, like, they don't like blur out anything. They're like, okay, this is the reality of raccoons today. So there's just like raccoon roadkill everywhere, and you're like, oh my god, this is traumatic.
Sounds fun though, different.
Yeah. But anyway, like I was saying about The Boy and the Heron, it's like almost like exploring a fantasy world again for the first time, like a big huge franchise. And you know, understand what I'm saying? Like you could write stories about
like you get lost in it, or like you're really what's the word I'm trying to say? Like you're very like involved, or like I don't know.
Well, it almost has like certain aspects of like, you know how in like Lord of the Rings, like you can imagine yourself as living in the land of the elves. There are certain aspects of this film where they like travel inside of this, for lack of a better word, like a castle tower, and like you could imagine yourself role playing as one of the characters, or like someone you bump into, or and then starting your own sort of adventure. There's just so many like open-ended things, and it's really fun. So I didn't even answer your question, but I do think it's in the top 2. So.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sam, what was your favorite movie that you watched this year?
I was thinking about it as Larissa was talking, and I think 2023 was a fun year for movies. I don't know if it was a great year for movies, but it was fun. I mean, you did have some bangers like Barbie and Oppenheimer, and there's some other like just big Oscar-worthy movies, and we saw things like Blue Beetle and Guardians of the Galaxy and Dungeons and Dragons that were fun, but not fantastic, but fun.
I think you're forgetting one little animation film when I was looking up my favorite anime real quick. Spoiler for later in the episode, I'm sorry. You're forgetting about Nimona.
Nimona was fun, yeah. That was a good movie. But like I said, there's a lot we watched. I really, really liked Talk to Me, the horror movie. I watched a lot of horror movies this year. But I think my overall for 2023 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's peak cinema.
Right.
It's so beautiful, such a good story, and then they leave you with that cliffhanger at the end.
And that one came out this year too, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably my favorite of the year. Like, I don't know, I had a couple days where like I sat with a friend and watched some horror movies and just like binged certain series. That was fun. Or like we watched Slaughterhouse, like fun experiences. But I think as far as a movie goes, probably Across the Spider-Verse.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And why was that?
Steph?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I already explained it.
No, I know, but like, why the Spider-Verse as opposed to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like came out?
Because it was better.
Well, I guess that's fair. The animation was very like similar, so I just wanted to know why you thought specifically that one was better than
the better.
TMTNT. Okay, well, that's very specific.
Well, I already explained it. I'm just gonna let Steph get into her thing.
All right, fair enough.
For me, I actually watched this movie on the plane when I was headed to Japan.
Okay.
But it did not come out this year.
Okay.
Was it the only movie you watched this year?
Wait, hold on. Wait, question. Did the Mario movie come out this year, or am I crazy?
It did come out this year. It was like earlier
crap.
in the year. This year's been so long.
Oh, no. Okay, well, shoot. I forgot about it because that just popped into my head right now because I watched this movie and the one I was going to talk about. But now I'm like, oh, no, they're kind of like both tied, actually.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I do like the Mario movie a lot. I liked it so much I did watch it in Spanish on the plane, like also.
Hilarious.
So I really enjoyed the Mario movie. But one that kind of surprised me that I did want to talk about is from 2016, actually.
Okay.
It's Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh,
yeah,
I've
that's a
heard
good
so
movie.
many things about that film.
It was amazing. I was like crying on the plane.
Oh.
It was so good. And it's just about this young boy. His name's Kubo. And he has to locate a magical suit of armor worn by his like late father and stuff in order to defeat this like vengeful spirit from the past. But it's really cool because the art style is so different. It's based in Japanese culture and it's like stop motion animated. It's wonderful. And I was like so surprised and it was just enjoyable. So I was really caught off guard by watching that, but I really enjoyed it. So that's probably
it's a fun movie.
I'm tied because I really like the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So like I'm tied between the both. I just like kid movies.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, kids movies a lot of the time have to like find a way to like pare down the like plot so that it's understandable to kids. So it's not like an easy thing to do where like it's still entertaining and dynamic. Like for an adult, you can get away with making it like rambling and not concise because you're like, oh, adults will figure it out. And like in reality, you're like, this is just a hot mess of nothing. Like, what are you doing here?
But I just like animated movies quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I already know your favorite movie for 2024.
What?
It hasn't come out yet. Sonic 3.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure. My guy. Hello, Shadow the Hedgehog is going to be in it. That's automatically going to be my number one.
What if
That's
they
great.
did? Like, what if they teased you with it and then just cut him from the film?
There's no
altogether?
shot.
And then
That's
went
like
back
the
to
whole
the original.
plot.
Went back to the original animation that they had for the movie.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be really funny. One quick question, though, because you did mention that you watched the Mario movie in Spanish.
Yeah.
Which voice acting is better, the Spanish or the English
They
one?
were actually very similar. I thought
Okay.
the Spanish dub did a really good job. It just, they had the same kind of like tone for each character as they did in English. And it really wasn't that much different in a way.
Cool.
So it's really
Hey, it's me, Chris Pratt, doing Mario.
good. Okay, but I didn't even think he did that bad of a
No,
job.
it wasn't that bad. They covered it up by saying, "Oh yeah, the accents are fake."
Right.
Yeah. But
Whatever.
okay, we'll move on to the next one. So,
Yeah.
as most people are probably aware, Spotify does, Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year. We don't have to do it via Spotify rules, but if you want, you can reference Spotify. But we just want to know, who is your favorite artist or band of 2023, and did you have a top song?
Let's see. My top artist of 2023 was probably Shifting Tones podcast, obviously. No, I'm kidding. As far as music goes, I listen to a lot of mixes and a lot of like radio. Like, so I'll switch between Spotify and Pandora a lot. Spotify more for podcasts and Pandora more for music because I like the versatility of Pandora a little bit more. Like if I put on a Midwest emo mix on Spotify, I'm going to hear the same 16 songs over and over and over again. But if I do it on Pandora, I'm getting new songs like almost every time.
Okay.
But I listened to, like I said, a lot of Front Bottoms, Sorority Noise, 21 Pilots. I think my favorite band this year overall was probably Pet Sematary. I
Oh.
listened to them a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have like a specific song, just a lot of their music. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's too out there or wild. A lot of people I saw like they had Noah Khan or Taylor Swift or I don't know, Drake or something. That's completely fine. I don't listen to like a lot on Spotify, so my Wrapped was really sad this year. Looking back, my biggest thing, I don't know if it counts, but I said is podcasts. I listen to a lot of Distractable, Dungeons and Daddies. Let's see, what is Wine and Crime, Game Scoop. So I more of my listening was involved with podcasts. Yeah.
Okay. Larissa, how about you?
Yeah, sure. So, I don't think of myself as a TikTok girly, but I do happen to talk about it a lot. So maybe I am one.
I think so. I think so.
But earlier in the year, City Pop became extremely popular on TikTok, and they were using it a lot for like TikTok videos and things. And if you don't know, City Pop is Japanese music that came out about in the late 80s, early 90s, where it's like very like poppy, but like in a very specific sort of like synth wave that's almost like 80s, but
almost
not
like 80s
quite.
club music, but like in a more fun way, right?
But like more jazzy. It's very dramatic, like has a lot of character to it, but it's still very like chill. So if anyone knows like lo-fi, imagine lo-fi but a little bit more poppy.
Okay.
And Japanesey.
Yeah, and Japanesey. But you don't necessarily have to, sing Japanese for it to be City Pop, which is why this is my top artist of the year. Well, he wasn't my top artist. I wish he was. Like Sam said, Spotify likes to repeat songs, and even if you don't listen to it, it counts it. So like when I listened to my Spotify Wrapped, I was like, why in the world is Two Door Cinema my favorite artist of the year? And I was like, oh, that's because I have that playlist and I haven't removed that song yet by them. So I kept skipping it. So my actual favorite artist of the year is Ginger Root, and they're a small independent band, and they became popular a little bit on TikTok this year because one of their songs hit the, not quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Viral. It's not quite viral, but just below that because of the resurgence of City Pop, and they make City Pop music, but today. And so my favorite song by them is Le Chateau. So obviously it doesn't have to be in Japanese. They sing in English. There are a few of their songs that are in Japanese. And the reason why I found them is a TikTok video where he was like referencing his own song, obviously. And they're like, hey guys, we're going on a trip to Japan. And they did this music video in the style of like a 70s camcorder kind of style where like someone goes around and watches a model try and find a gig like around the city. So you get to see all these retro things in Japan. So that was a lot of fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, if you're done.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Okay. I don't listen much, so I have no idea who that band is.
No, they're very small. Like,
Yeah.
I still got into their, like, top 15%, and I probably listened to it, like, 1 month I listened to it almost on repeat, but that was about it. So that should tell you about how obscure they are.
So, for me, I'm sure both of you could probably already tell who it's going to be.
No idea.
Yeah.
Who could it be?
Yeah, my favorite is Lovejoy.
What?
Wow, I know. Where I even went to their concert this year. I know. So, yeah, I like Lovejoy. They are a small indie rock band that formed in 2021, so a little more recent, but
Really?
oh yeah.
I didn't know it was that recent.
Like right after COVID they started.
Oh, I did not know that actually. Yeah.
So a lot newer, but pretty much on Spotify Wrapped, my top 5 songs were all their songs. So
That's
my
wild.
goodness.
yeah, so I don't have much more to say other than that. I mean, it was a big, well, I mean, I like them, yeah, but that's kind of it. I mean, the biggest thing was that I like them so much that I went to a concert for them, so it was cool.
That's fair. Also, my band started in 2020, so it also is new. So
Nice.
My band started before Jesus. So,
Wow.
yeah.
all hail.
Yep.
That's funny.
No,
All
but I'm
right.
surprised you don't have anything else to say, because I almost thought, like, when you brought that up, you were going to say Kuko was your favorite artist of this year, too.
He's probably my second favorite artist. I really vibe with Kuko a lot, and he was in my like top 5 artists on Spotify
That's
Wrapped,
cool.
but the top 5 songs I had were all from Lovejoy.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, Kuko is definitely like up there.
Because you were listening to a lot of him on while we were getting ready for your wedding day, so I was like,
Well, yeah,
you
because
should
I mean,
mention
like,
it.
I wanted more like of that vibe than more so the heavier kind of rock during, wedding day prep.
Right, no, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And Kuko's like bedroom pop, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's like a good mix crossover between bedroom pop and city pop. So if you like any of those kind of like lo-fi vibes, definitely like search those specific key terms and you'll find a lot of cool artists and you'll have a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Very vibey.
So next that I wanted us to all kind of chat about was the video game that you played the most this year. What was the game that you spent a lot of time playing in 2023? Or you spent just a lot of hours playing?
Sure. I'll let Sam go first because mine is kind of a joke. So go ahead, Sam.
Let's see. Yeah, this was a fun year for video games also. I played a lot of horror games with friends, a lot of co-op games. I very much enjoyed Lethal Company. That's new. Been playing a lot of that. Just picked up Overwatch 2 again, playing with a buddy, so that's really fun. But it has to probably be Labyrinthian. It's a horror maze game with, like, I don't know, probably 20 different maps at this point and, like, 20 different monsters that chase you around. And you pretty much have to go through a maze. There's, like, objectives like pulling levers or finding things. And then you have to escape the maze without dying. And thankfully, there's an easy mode where you can turn on, like, infinite lives. But there's also hardcore modes where it's like, once you're dead, that's it. And I think the reason I've enjoyed this game so much this year is they keep coming out with updates for, like, all these different cosmetics you can find. It's not like microtransactions. Like, oh, you want a new shirt or a new hat? Okay, you have to find it. You actually have to go in the maze and find it. Okay. And our friends' reactions with them are hilarious. It's just funny to hear people scream or their mic cut out or just like get really silent because there's some monsters that are triggered by voices and by you talking. So
that's freaky.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a cool game. Other than that, just doing a lot of gaming. Call me Gamer Bro.
What's your favorite cosmetic for Labyrinthian?
Probably the top hat I bought.
You bought a top hat?
Because there's an in-store, there's an in-game store that you use with coins you pretty much, or tickets you find throughout the maps, or like you get for like achievements, like you get tickets. You don't actually physically purchase the tickets with real people money.
Thank goodness.
But I saved up like, I don't know, it was 1,000 or 2,000 tickets to buy this top hat that's got like polka dots all over it.
It's funny. And for context, how hard is it to find tickets? Because to me and all my microtransaction games, like 100 tickets can mean like it's like 0.1% of like a diamond.
No. You find they made an update recently where like there are more tickets that spawn now, so you maybe only find like 2 or 3 on the map, but you get some for just completing the game or for like finding the cosmetic or for completing achievements. Like you get tickets pretty frequently. Like if I played over the course of like 2 or 3 hours, I'd probably have 100 tickets. So it's not that big of a deal. Yeah.
Okay. It's not bad.
What about you, Larissa?
So, like I said, mine's a joke, so I'm going to let Steph go before me.
Okay. I mean, I was trying to think about it because I was like, well, I don't play many games.
But you stream.
I stream. Yeah, I stream some games. And I was thinking there was only 2 games that I did actually stream this year, which is literally only Minecraft and Animal Crossing. But I think I put more time into Animal Crossing. I guess I could argue Pokemon Go via mobile.
Yeah,
technically. But I do think that the most that I've played is Animal Crossing. And it's not New Horizons. It is the old-fashioned one for the GameCube. The one released back in 2001.
Pretty wild. And that was the first one for the North American audience, right?
Yes, correct.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. So I think I have the most time in that because that game is so nostalgic. It's like a super comfort to me. And I'm trying to quote unquote beat the game because I've never done that before. Which I know you might be saying, how are you supposed to beat the game?
I was going to say
wait. Let me answer. I think you have to defeat the final boss in hand-to-hand combat, which is Tom Nook.
No. You have to pay off your house in full. Like, you pay off your debt. I've never had that done before.
Wow.
Same.
And then my stipulation is also then to complete the museum by filling every part of it,
Wow.
all the collections up. And I've never done those two things. So in my definition, that is quote unquote like beating the game.
Sure. No, absolutely. That makes sense. Do they have the mail system in the GameCube one?
Yeah, that's where you like type out the letters and stuff.
Yeah.
No, they just have the female system.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Thank you. I'll be here all day.
Yeah, get out of here.
Insert laugh
All right,
track.
Larissa, what is your joke answer?
So I love to think of myself as a gamer because I do love playing video games. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I just haven't had the time span or attention to sit down and play a video game this year. So if I'm gonna be honest, I'm your classic old grandma playing like a Bejeweled style game. So yeah, my top game of the year is definitely a Bejeweled style game, like I just said, called Project Makeover.
Oh yeah, you've talked about that.
I think you have
Right.
mentioned that on
Yes.
the podcast before.
Oh my goodness, it's so fantastic, and I'm pretty sure it was developed by the same creators of that old viral Kim K game. Do you guys remember that? Where you just like
Yes.
clicked things,
Oh my
and you're
God.
like, why am I addicted to this? Like, I definitely beat that game when it was still relevant, and I'm like, why the hell did I do that? Yeah,
I burned
it's
it out of my memory.
good, because it was a colossal waste of time, which is kind of what this game is too. But the reason why I get hooked into it is that not only do you have like your Bejeweled style game where you're matching like tiles or doing little challenges and things, which is like fun and good, like a nice way to unwind after a long day of work, which is why
Right.
I do it. And also you get to make over like a la like I'm trying to think of what not to wear or
Say yes to the dress.
say no, or what's that other one I'm thinking of? Oh, Queer Eye. Like those kind of shows where like not only you get to make over someone's wardrobe, you get to redesign their house, you get to redesign like their hair and their makeup, and it's really cheesy, but it's a lot of fun where like I get to engage in like my desire to like interior design everything in my life, because you can only buy so many things for your house before it gets a little ridiculous.
I like that that's your video game.
No, I know, and it's really funny because like if I had to pick like one that's like a real quote unquote video game, I have played a lot of Sims when I allow myself to, which is basically the same reason why I play Project Makeover, but I can stop Project Makeover. When I play The Sims, I'm gone for 12 hours, and that's not good.
I usually send out a search party, like
You do?
Pico, to go find you.
No, like literally, I played it the other day, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna create a quick house real quick, and then like 6 hours passed by, and I was like, oh, it's only been like an hour or two. No, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and Sam's like, we gotta get to bed. I'm like, what?
Nice. Well, moving right along to our next topic of discussion.
Topic of discussion.
Oh, yes, topic of discussion. What was the most watched anime of the year, or just your favorite anime of the year?
I'm gonna give you two answers.
Oh.
Sure.
Two answers. I don't know if it was my most watched, but the one I think I had the most fun watching was Zom 100. Came
Yeah.
out earlier I think it came out in the summer actually, and it's just a fun like zombie anime, but it's like a different take on it. Instead of blood, it's like bright neon colors, and I think I've talked about it in the past
Yeah.
on here.
You have.
But if it counts, I just started rewatching, putting on in the background while I work is Teen Titans, because it's available on HBO Max.
That's not an anime though, so
It is animated.
It's a cartoon with an anime style, is how I would describe
I know
it.
it's not an anime, but I'm just saying it's so good. The story is solid, and you know what? To all those people out there that are like, "Oh, Teen Titans, go ruin Teen Titans," like, no, it's just not for you. Like,
Right.
Teen Titans was a little bit more advanced and a little bit more adult, but it still had silly, cartoon, goofy children humor, and that's what the new one is. So if you're upset about it, like, get over yourself. It's not for you. Unless you're
Get
a
on your
child listening to
soapbox,
this, then
man.
it's completely for you. But yeah, no, Zom 100. I started recently watching the second season of Jujutsu Kaisen, so I'm only like halfway through that, so I can't say that and I technically didn't watch the last bit of Attack on Titan yet. So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry, not sorry.
I mean, both of us already know what happens because I was spoiled like
That's crazy.
eons ago. So I'm like, do I really need to finish it? I don't know.
What about you, Larissa?
So like Sam, I have watched like random series where like they're not necessarily like my favorite or like they're not like too crazy or anything. Like I would sit down, I'm like, oh, this is a short anime and I have some time here where I can really unwind for like one Friday where like Sam's hanging out with like the boys and I'm by myself for a night for a change.
The boys.
I know. It sounds very like chuggy millennial, but we've had a lot of those nights this year, so that's okay. I get to watch my anime that you don't want to watch, which I mean, I wouldn't subject anyone to these animes that I've watched.
Feature.
Yeah, so anyway, the one that I think I had the most enjoyment with, which from me, my criteria was when I finished watching the like original air date, do I try to want to like finish it by like seeing if there's a manga and I can read the rest of the manga before the rest of the anime is actually produced and aired.
Mm-hmm.
And so, luckily this one for this anime, which is a Netflix original, I didn't have to wait too long between trying to figure out where the manga like picked back up and like trying to read all of it because one, your girl doesn't like to buy manga, which is terrible because I'm an artist and that's how these artists really make their money is by buying the manga. I definitely pirated it. I know, but I couldn't find that many like of the volumes, and which surprised me because it originally started as a webcomic series. So I'm like, why can't I find this? Like, this is ridiculous. But anyway, enough drum roll and rambling about it. My favorite anime of this year was My Happy Marriage, which sounds so dumb.
Is it a shoujo?
Yes, it's definitely a shoujo. And the reason
why
I think
sounded like one.
Right. So the reason I think I is more interested in it, I wouldn't say it's like a fantastic anime by any means. Like it's definitely like a 6. But it was highly enjoyable because I love my like Pride and Prejudice style movies where like they go back in the time period, like the Victorian time period. So for this anime, they did it during the Meiji Restoration period. So it's a mix of like Western and like still samurai culture.
Oh, nice.
So that was really fun. So it's like a time period piece. And it's also a reimagining of the classic Cinderella story. So I thought the twist on it was interesting. So that's why I kept being engaged and was like, oh, how are they going to do this aspect of the story? And it was like completely different from like a Western way of doing it. It was very Eastern style, which I appreciated. And like towards the end, it was getting a little ridiculous where they're like, hey, we kind of finished the Cinderella story aspect of it. Why don't we like make it more interesting by adding some supernatural things? And I was like, all right, you had me in the first half, but I don't know if you really needed all this supernatural stuff. But then they dialed it back in and like made it more like based off of Japanese culture of like the moon and the Shinto spirit and the Shintoism of like fighting demons and things. So I was like, okay, I can handle that. But for a second there, I was like, I don't need my Prince Charming to be shooting blue flames out of his hands for no reason.
I do. I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh. That's certainly an interesting little spin to put on it then.
Yeah, and it's only like 12 episodes, so and I think it's
not
finished. Bad. No, that's why I like pretty much binged it in like 1 or 2 days. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, my favorite anime of the year was one that came out this year, which was Demon Slayer Season 3.
Oh, I should have said Demon Slayer.
Really enjoyed that one. Really like how the story's progressing. And I know that they announced the new season's coming up, I think, in the spring. So
the Hashirama training arc.
Yes, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, that would probably be my favorite. Now, I will say that the most watched I did this year was Attack on Titan, because I watched it from beginning all the way to the last episode. So we watched it all within a couple months.
That's wild.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That is so much content to watch and so much like depressing things to get through. Like,
oh yeah.
man.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was perfect though, because we were catching up, and I know the second to last part came out like in March of this year, and then the last episode actually came out on our wedding day. So we just watched it like the day after.
What a bummer.
The final episode. So it was good. But that would be my most watched. I wouldn't say it was my favorite. I definitely enjoyed watching it. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a good series, and it's always very like satisfying to watch like the end of an anime, because oftentimes not many get to the end point, you know?
Right, exactly.
So it was nice to actually have like a conclusion. And I didn't think it was that bad. So I felt like it kind of summed up the story fairly well, and it was all put together, which was nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I liked it.
I wonder if it's, I still haven't seen it, obviously, because Sam and I are, like, dancing around it.
Crazy.
I wonder how different the ending is from the manga ending.
Yeah, I don't know. I never read the manga, so I don't know.
I think it's the exact same.
I think
yeah.
I feel like Attack on Titan did pretty good with adapting and staying true to the manga. I haven't heard otherwise.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Our last point of discussion. What was your favorite way to spend your free time? Like, any like entertainment things that you enjoyed? Just kind of wasting time, or just, you know, you looked forward to doing?
I think this year, I wish I was a little bit more adventurous and exploratory this year. Like, in the past, Larissa and I have gone on a lot of hikes and walks and vacations and stuff like that. And we did a couple small little vacations this year. But it was just a overall busy year, it seemed like, for both of us, whether it be me switching jobs, Larissa switching jobs, you know, going to art shows, weddings, funerals, all of that stuff. But I think it's just been, you know, movie Tuesdays. I think that's my favorite thing for throughout the year. I love it so much. It's like our little date night, and I know it's cheesy, but like, we get that $5 bucket of popcorn and we see a new movie, and even though we don't do it every Tuesday, it's been really enjoyable. That, and, you know, just hopping on and playing with our friend group on video games. You know, I really have been missing those big party style games like Jackbox and Among Us, like getting everybody in there. So I'm hoping at some point we get back to that. That'd be fun. But other than that, you know, like I said, just movie Tuesdays. I love them.
Nice. Larissa?
Well, you basically stole my answer there, but that's okay. I'll try to come up with another topic. And the reason why, again, back to like hiking and things, we didn't really go on hikes is because it was just so hot this year. And then like when it wasn't hot, it was like cold and rainy. No one wants to be taking hikes.
There's
in the rain,
no such thing as global warming. What are you talking about?
It doesn't exist. So that really did hamper our traveling sort of abilities of like going on cool little like nature walks and things, which really made me sad, but that's okay. I kind of made it up for it by like sitting in like the hot sun, like Sam just said, during my like art shows and things. So I kind of like got the outdoor experience, but like, I don't know, it kind of felt like going out to recess at school where you get to play on the blacktop and you're like, is this really outside if everything is just like gravel and metal?
Fair.
But you also liked your movie Tuesdays though too.
Yeah, it was really fun. I love my movie theater popcorn. Oh my god, I eat so much of that popcorn. It is a little embarrassing.
No, you're good. I'm the same way. Same way.
It's so good. Like, I have cravings for it. If we like skip a Tuesday, I'm like salivating until the next Tuesday that we go, where I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited for that popcorn, which is ridiculous. Like, why am I so excited about buttered popcorn? Like,
because it's good.
That's dumb.
It slaps. It hits different, you know?
It does. Well, Sam doesn't even like eat the popcorn half the time. He gets his what is it? The cookie dough bites. You always buy those.
Yeah, but I eat some of the popcorn.
Yeah, but you're not like looking forward to it.
I mean, I do. I like movie theater popcorn, but yeah, I get my cookie dough bites too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I'm trying to think of what I like to spend my free time on that isn't those things. And man, it's been a wild year, like Sam said, of just being busy and trying to find time to do things that isn't like updating a driver's license. Fun, practical adult things. So, but I do spend a lot of my time watching YouTube videos. So, to go on that, I think my favorite pastime this year, and Sam will agree, is watching so much content about conspiracy theories and cults. Like, it's ridiculous. I've been following this Ruby Frazee story from
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. From
Jeez.
January, about like people speculating if they were finally going to get like authorities called on them, and it happened this year and it made national news. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want these children to be, like malnourished and abused, but I'm just like, wow.
I have no idea.
I'm
what
watching
you're
it unfold
talking
in
about.
real time.
So,
it's insane. The level of depths I have gone into some of these like cults. Like, it's ridiculous.
So let me explain it to you from a secondhand point of view, because I absorbed all of it via hearing things in the background, or Larissa telling me stories or something like that. Apparently, there's these two Mormon ladies.
Yes. So the original.
No. Let me dumb it down.
This is important.
Okay.
The original family was a family vlogger style, but they were Mormon, and so they had a huge family of kids. That is important to understanding the context of this whole story. And then this Mormon lady who had her family vlogging business, she decided to get super into Mormonism, that there was this one lady who kind of tried to start her own sort of like branch off of it, and she kind of got brainwashed by this person. So Sam can go on from here.
They're beating their kids and not feeding them.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's
because they
really,
were like,
really bad.
God wanted me to.
Yeah, like they would tell their kids that like, we have to do this torture to you so that you can make it into heaven one day, sort of stuff.
Well, that's really depressing.
I know.
2023, yay!
Woo! But I can't stop watching it because I want to know what happens, and I want to know if justice finally gets served. Which
that's crazy.
It is. She's in jail, and she's looking at least probably 5 years to 20 years in prison. So hell yeah.
Well, let me lighten the mood a little.
Right.
The way that I spent a lot of my free time being entertained and all that jazz is I watched a lot of streamers on Twitch.
Right.
Like
nice.
Twitch has definitely become my primary like source of entertainment as of late, or just like watching content and things. Like I don't watch all that many movies. I don't watch a lot of TV shows. Like I watch like YouTube, yes, but even now, like I spend way more time on Twitch.
Like, what kind of content are you watching? Primarily, like, Minecraft?
Oh, yeah.
Or, like,
people are just talking? Or? No, I watch a lot of streamers playing Minecraft. And I will say the Minecraft series that I have found myself loving, and I just can't get enough of, is the QSMP.
Right.
So, for those of you who don't know, QSMP, it started on March 22nd, 2023. So, it's almost been the whole year.
Wow.
It's Quackity, streamer Quackity. He's American and Mexican streamer. He streams in both English and Spanish. But it's his like passion project, where this server is. I had to write this down so I didn't get it wrong. The first
You're ready.
I know, the first ever multilingual Minecraft server multiplayer with live translation.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, wasn't he like so popular this year out of like nowhere that like he was featured on Mr. Beast's like a big competition where they did like a huge hide and seek thing?
That was a long time ago. He was featured on that.
Was it?
Yeah, that was like
I thought it was this year.
No. Plus, there was like a little small. I'm not even getting into it. There's a small little controversy with that.
There was. I think that's maybe why I was thinking about it this year, because that controversy came out.
It wasn't
this
from this year though.
Oh,
but
never mind then. Go on.
But either way, it's his passion project, because him growing up bilingual, and he's completely fluent in both English and Spanish. And that's like, what I majored in college was like Spanish. Right. I minored in French. And and I also just enjoy watching Minecraft content in general. So it really just hit all the bells, that I'm like, oh, right. I like this. Like, this is perfect. So initially it started where it was just English streamers and Spanish streamers, and then they had to they had different challenges and things that they had to overcome. But they had the translator, so you had streamers who would have never met otherwise. Kind of, right. The idea was you're breaking down barriers, via language, via culture, just by playing Minecraft. So the concept is so cool. But then later they added 2 additional languages, one being Portuguese from Brazilian streamers, and then French.
Wow, that's really huge.
But what about Pig Latin? Where are my Pig Latin fans at?
There are pigs in Minecraft, so maybe.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, so I've been really involved. Like, I've been watching since day one, so it's crazy.
Cool.
But there's so much lore, and that's it's so crazy too, because there's just so many different POVs. There's too much, really. But there is a fun little thing they've kind of hinted that they might be having Japanese, Korean, Filipino, and Chinese possibly coming up.
It's like a whole world.
Yeah, so it's really cool because it's
cool.
like just uniting different like creators together.
Yeah, that's really huge. And you said that was live translation? Like, how does that work? Because the idea of, like, translating things, it takes a lot of time. So,
yeah, they have they kind of, like, I don't know, he has a whole team that they developed a thing where it provides transcriptions. Like, it live translates in game. Like, it's not just on the streams. Like, it's only through Minecraft, but it's really neat. And they have, like, speech bubbles above the characters. Yeah. It's really cool.
And you know English and Spanish like pretty well, like very fluent. Like, is it accurate?
Oh yeah, for the most part. I mean, obviously with translation, just in general, there's hit or miss errors, but it does pretty well, and it's a really nice. I don't know, it's really nice because it's fun for me to practice my Spanish with listening, and then like I just kind of I don't know, it's just fun and funny, so I've been enjoying that.
No, that's cool.
Probably more than I should, but...
No, it's okay. You're allowed to have your interests and your likes and enjoy them.
And I never get to, like, talk... I can't even, like, begin to... That's, like, me just barely scratching the surface. Like, I don't think anyone quite realizes to the extent of the lore and everything that's in it that I just can't talk about. There's no time in the world.
Is there an OTP in the SMP that... you currently have, or is it
what about
not
an ABC
a
or a DEF?
It's very like angsty a little bit.
Oh,
yeah. I like if anybody is aware of the QSMP and the lore, I like Foolish and Vegeta, but Vegeta hasn't been on for months, but it's very like it's a lot. There's a whole lore story, and it's so cute because it was between
he's busy defending the world with Goku.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
but it's funny because Foolish is actually an Ohio-based streamer.
Oh, really?
And just a small streamer. And well, he's bigger now, but like he was smaller when he started. But then Vegeta is one of the biggest Spanish creators. Like, he's been, creating content in Minecraft for, like, 10 plus years. So he's, like, an OG creator in Spain. Yeah. So, like, well, he lives in Andorra now. But, he's one that all, like, Hispanics know. They grew up watching. So, like, it's crazy because everyone was like, wow, they thought they wouldn't get along, but then they did.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably Andorra's only streamer.
No, a lot of, fun enough, a lot of, Spaniards and people go to Andorra because it's like tax free.
Really?
To live.
Oh, that makes sense. Kind of like
very small country.
Yeah.
Like Jake Paul going to Puerto Rico or whatever.
Yeah,
for those
pretty much.
People tax havens.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
That was a blast.
That was a good way to kind of end our little year. I thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about, the things that we liked and enjoyed this year.
Absolutely.
But we'll be seeing you in the new year, everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year from Shifting Tones Podcast. If you would like, you can follow us at Shifting Tones Pod on all social medias. You can also follow me, today's host, at Spiffy Steffi. You can also follow Sam at
Sir Captain Sam.
And Miss Larissa at
Larissa.Schaefer.
Perfect. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for listening to us on our podcast journey, and we will continue next year. Bye!